Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's One Piece Treasure Cruise video, I will be showcasing 6 different teams, 2 for each variation, for the new normal boss in Kizuna vs Alber. Some general information about my teams: they all work even after level 30 in this Kizuna. The first team for each variation will be using new units and also a friend captain, Kizuna rare recruit Marco, so we get more tokens for the super boss and more tickets. For some of the new units I will be offering replacements though, and the second team won't be using the new Kizuna rare recruit Marco or new units, in case you don't have access to any of the two. But if you want new units used without Marco, check out my 1 vs all team video where I beat all variations with only one team. Without further ado though, let's challenge Alber with 6 different teams. Team 1 versus the Q variation will be using Zoro and Sanji as our captains, entering on Sanji, and of course our friend captain will be the new Kizuna rare recruit Marco. I also decided to use the new Yamato and Super Tandem Luffy to get access to the EX Super of Zoro Sanji, but of course it is not necessary and both of them are replaceable. In the place of Yamato you can use any unit you want that can deal with damage reduction in the final stage, and in the place of Luffy any unit that can deal with despair in the final stage after level 30. If you can get more damage from the replacements, even better. For example, you can use Q One Piece Odyssey Lim in the place of Luffy. In stage 2 versus page 1 we want to activate Marco first, so we deal with Threshold and gain a damage reduction shield, and then we want to activate 5 plus Kizuna Brook, who will remove attack down, increase our damage, and we can also shuffle slots around here. Everyone here will have a guaranteed matching slot essentially. If you are using Yamato, you can also super swap here to the deck side and also activate here EX Super to increase damage, but not here special, we want it for the final stage, and then we can super easily attack based on color advantage and defeat page 1. Because of Marco's high damage reduction shield, we can also easily tank the after defeat hit. Something very important for this team: make certain you have Pirate Rumble free-to-play Wiper in the right column. I have him bottom right here, so he can evade the confusion, and of course after the preemptive also remove it. He is actually awesome versus this quest because not only do we activate him first to deal with confusion, but he also reduces the enemy's defense to 0, which will deal with defense up after level 30, and on top of that he provides a conditional attack boost. Then we want to activate Super Tandem Luffy for a very strong ore boost and to remove despair after level 30. Then we want to activate Yamato to deal with damage reduction. Any damage reduction remover will work here, but Yamato also increases our damage by a lot. And finally we super swap Sanji to Zoro for the full board of guaranteed matching slots, something not interruptible because it is coming from a swap. And then we activate their special to increase our damage even further, and you can also use the EX Super if you do have access to it. And fun fact, if you hit more perfects in stage 2, Brook will also provide you with a base attack boost here. Team 2 versus the Q variation will be using Katakuri and Oden as captains, and our friend captain will be Super Sugo First Law. His Super Evolution also works of course. For our dual units we want to enter on Jinbe from Robin Jinbe, Ace from 6 plus Luffy Ace, and Rebecca from V1 Vivi Rebecca. Have in mind, Luffy Ace here, and Luffy specifically, provides both Law and Katakuri Oden with their super type, which is very helpful. In stage 2 we can remove increased damage taken because of the limit break abilities of Vivi Rebecca and Robin Jinbe, which is great, and then we want to super swap Jinbe to Robin to get a damage reduction shield, and activate Robin to remove Threshold, attack down, and gain a base attack boost. Then we can swap Rebecca to Vivi for a chain lock, and finally we can attack based on color advantage to super easily defeat page 1 and also be able to tank his after defeat hit pretty comfortably. For the main boss here, first of all you need to have Katakuri Oden as captains. You cannot actually swap your captains around, we need them in the right column so they can evade confusion and reduce our HP in order to deal with it. The order of actions is pretty important as well to get maximum damage. First we want to activate the super type of our captain, which will bring us over 60% HP and apply defense down to the enemy, which means now while activating their special, we can regain it immediately, but also gain a conditional attack boost and free our left column units from confusion. Then we activate V2 Hiyori, who can remove despair after level 30 and provide us with a full board of non-manipulatable Wano slots, so we don't care about the interruption, and she will also heal us back to over 60% HP. Then we are going to activate both the special and super type of Law to heal more and definitely be over 60%, but to also get an attack boost and apply increased damage taken to Alber. Then Katakuri and Oden again to get a very good chain boost, and then again for the final time so we can get a base attack boost for everyone. And for even more damage we are going to super swap Ace to Luffy for chain boundaries, and then because we have their dual form special we will activate that to get a universal 2-turn ore boost. Finally, we activate Vivi for a color affinity boost, but more importantly to deal with the damage reduction shield completely and the defense up after level 30 to super easily defeat the enemy. The first team versus the strength variation will be using Roger and Oden as captains, with the new Kizuna rare recruit Marco in the friend captain position. For this team, we are going to use the Dawn Krieg ship, something necessary to deal with resilience in stage number 2. For our dual units, we are going to enter on the deck side on both of them, and in case you don't have Yamato, I think you can replace her with either someone to help you with damage, apply increased damage taken in the final stage, or any kind of utility you need. And Zoro Sanji, you need someone to help you deal with defense up even after level 30, so you can replace maybe even both of them with defense up removers that can also help you increase your damage output. In stage 2, we are going to activate Toki to deal with the bind, of course. And then we are going to activate the EX Super and Special of Roger Oden. That way, we get a full board of locked Wano slots, and we increase our damage to super easily defeat Who's Who here, and we just one-tap him, of course. You can even use the super swap of Yamato, it's not really that important. We just want to be on the Q side. In the final stage, we can super easily beat the mini-boss here, and the ship will help us bypass resilience. The Dawn Krieg ship, by the way, is at the base maximum level, level 10, no special upgrades are necessary. For the final stage now, Roger Oden in the captain position, because of their captain ability, can completely resist despair. And after King's Preemptive, what we want to do first is actually activate Marco. The main reason he is useful here is because he provides a 2-turn ore boost, meaning it can survive through intimidation and it is applied on everyone. Then we want to activate the Q side of Yamato to increase our damage. Then we want to activate Newgate, who will provide us with chain boundaries. Alongside Toki, they also provide Roger Oden with EX Super access. And finally, we want to super swap Zoro to Sanji and activate their special to increase our damage by a lot, but more importantly is probably to remove defense up completely even after 30. Then we attack and super easily defeat Alber. Team 2 versus the strength variation will be using versus Yamato as captain and V2 Yamato, the dual unit, as friend captain, entering on the deck side of the unit. For our two other dual units, we are going to enter on Rebecca from V1 Vivi Rebecca and Ace from 6+ Luffy Ace. Something very important for this team, I am using support Koshiro, the limited rare recruit support, on Zoro here to deal with resilience in stage 2. If you don't have him, you can just use the Dawn Krieg ship again, it's absolutely fine and viable. We resist despair in stage number 2, and then we activate Zoro to manipulate all of our slots into matching tandem to avoid the non-beneficial slot debuff, and we also increase our damage. Generally, if you want to replace the Zoro and Koshiro combo, the Dawn Krieg ship is your best friend, and in the place of Zoro you need someone to manipulate your slots into matching RCV, tandem or Wano or something like that, and give you enough damage to beat Who's Who. This Yamato combination is awesome because the friend captain Yamato resists bind in stage 2 and our versus Yamato captain resists despair alongside sockets in stage 3. Then we want to super swap our friend captain and activate both her special and EX super if you do have access to it to increase our damage. We also want to activate Yamato before with Rebecca to get a better color affinity boost. We activate Rebecca after though to completely remove defense up even after level 30, which is awesome, and then we want to super swap Ace to Luffy to get chain boundaries, and we activate their dual form special on the Q side to get an ore boost for everyone that can survive through intimidation. Then we want to activate the special and versus ability of our Captain Yamato to not only get a very good attack boost and great slots, but to also increase the damage output of our tandem slots and also enable her unique attack buff. Finally, we also activate V2 Brook, who is mainly here to allow EX super access and provide us with more damage with a chain boost and a base attack boost to defeat Alber. Team 1 versus the Dex variation will be using the super evolution of new free-to-play legend Ace as captain, who needs to be level limit break 3 or over so he can apply ignited status and have a conditional attack boost for the team in 2 different stages. And he is also limit broken fully, but only for the normal limit break, so no limit break plus, and you do not need to use a key on him and waste all of those resources. I am also getting access to his EX super here because of Marco, Izo and Newgate, and I will explain why it's important in a bit. First, after the preemptive in stage 2, we want to activate 5 plus strength Newgate to get 3 turns of chain boundaries and remove the burn. We also want to activate Ace to have an active conditional attack boost for the remainder of the quest, and finally re-recruit Queen here to remove damage reduction completely. Now we attack based on slots to super easily beat Ulti and proceed, and something I did not mention, from Dogstorm and Cat Viper, the super evolution of their dual unit, we want to enter on Cat Viper to get special cooldown reduction and also super swap in the final stage. Entering the boss stage, we still have chain boundaries active, the conditional attack boost, and Ace will ignite Alber through immunity, and as a captain he will resist both the chain coefficient reduction and the attack down under specific chain debuff. Then we activate Izo for a base attack boost and a chain growth boost, and then we activate our friend Captain Marco to remove Threshold, get an ore boost, and a 90% damage reduction shield. Then we super swap Cat Viper to Dogstorm and activate them, so we can gain an attack boost and a color affinity boost for even more damage. We also get a guaranteed full board of matching slots from the super swap, and finally we activate the EX Super of Ace, which will give us Threshold and increase our damage. The Threshold is important here because alongside Marco's damage reduction shield, it allows us to tank one more hit from Alber so the burn can take care of him, but if you don't have access to the EX Super, just use the Dawn Krieg ship instead. Team 2 versus the Dex variation without using the new Ace is going to use versus Kaido as captain from Kaido versus Big Mom, not Kaido versus Yamato, the strength one, and the friend captain will be Ulti. We get access to Ulti's superclass, which is great because she can apply a conditional attack boost in the final stage without activating the boss's interruption, since it comes from a superclass and not a special, which is great for our damage. We also need to have limited recruit support Pero on our 3 sweet commanders to deal with the extra turns of threshold after level 30. Before, you don't need him. In stage 2, we activate Newgate first to deal with the burn and get 3 turns of chain boundaries. Then we activate page 1 to deal with damage reduction and Kaido so we can get an attack boost here to help us beat Ulti, but if we hit 3 perfects, which we are going to do, he will also provide us with an ore boost in the final stage. In stage 2, start attacking with Pudding, then everyone else based on slots. If you have 1 or 2 matching slots, you can super easily beat Ulti, but if you feel like you're struggling with damage, you can also replace page 1 with someone else that can deal with damage reduction and can also either provide better slots or more damage, for you to have a more comfortable time, since Ulti can get superclass access from Kaido anyway. In the final stage, Pero support activates, reducing threshold, something necessary for the team after level 30, and we entered on Pudding of course, to have special cooldown reduction at the start of the quest, and for our first actions we want to activate the special and the superclass of Ulti. She will provide us with a base attack boost, a chain growth boost, and she will also give a conditional attack boost with her superclass, which won't activate the interruption. Then we want to activate the 3 sweet commanders for an attack boost, a chain boost and a color affinity boost on our strength units. Then we activate the versus ability of Kaido for end of turn damage to also deal with the resilience, and then we swap Pudding to Sanji for better slots, and we activate Sanji for guaranteed adjacent matching slots, hence why they need to be in the middle row, and we also of course completely remove Threshold. And if you don't have Pudding Sanji, I'm pretty certain Dex Rare Recruit Sasaki also works. Then we attack based on color advantage, and the end of turn damage from versus Kaido defeats Alber. And these are all of my 6 teams for the new normal boss Kizuna versus Alber. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments down below and I will try to help. But if this video helped you out or you found it enjoyable, definitely leave a like to help out the channel, I would really appreciate it. If you want to see my one team versus all variations, click the video on the left, and if you want more One Piece Treasure Cruise content like this one, definitely subscribe to the channel. As always, thank you so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.